Hey, it's me, Maggie J. Today with a video about some horrific Thanksgiving experiences that we should all be really thankful we didn't have to live through. Well, I hope you didn't have to live through any of these. Let me know your worst Thanksgiving experience if you think it can compete with any of these situations. Story 1. During a gathering at my house, I noticed a Costco-sized box of individual bags of Cheez-Its was missing from the garage. When I went back inside, I asked if anyone had moved it, and my cousin's new wife immediately froze and shortly after went out to her car and brought the box back inside. I thought these were mine. I have a box just like it at home, she said. My stepbrother was just released from jail for some possession and distribution charges. He is not the family favorite, but was invited to the meal at my aunt's house anyways. And he brought his girlfriend, who was high out of her mind the entire time. They sat at the table eating nothing but turkey and rolls. A whole lot of the rolls, by the way. Then the girlfriend disappears into the bathroom for a while. A long while. Eventually the door is opened and they find her inside, passed out from shooting up. My stepbrother says he can wake her up by punching her in the cooter and proceeds to do so several times. Well, what do you know? The old coot punch does the trick, but by that time the police had been summoned and the person writing this stopped their story there. One response I thought was worth mentioning says, the old cooter rebooter. My wife brought a friend home from work for the meal one year, a younger woman who brought her boyfriend as well. While we were eating, this woman started telling a story about this one time when she and her brother got super trashed on Robitussin, and then it became really weird, sexually. And then the rest of the meal was pretty quiet after that. 4, my uncle poured Crown Royal on his turkey and ate it. Number 5, one very unreliable family member offered to bring the dessert. She showed up 3 hours late with only an opened bag of frozen pierogies with her. We also have a cousin who always says she will bring the bread, but she too is always late, and the bread usually amounts to a loaf of sliced sandwich bread or stale rolls from the discount bin. 6, my uncle shot the TV because the Lions were doing so terribly back in 1977. We had to go to my grandparents' house to watch the Cowboys game. That was the whole story. There was no inclusion of anyone freaking out or being upset that their television had gotten shot. That's the funny part to me. My uncle brought a woman other than his wife. She was a practicing witch who could divine things about us on the spot, and ironically accused another of my uncles of having an affair. She got drunk and groped me in the coat closet and tried to kiss me, saying, "If only I were young again." I was only 16. Story 8. My husband's brother and one of the sister-in-laws, married to another brother, would always disappear for about 20 to 40 minutes. It took several years for curiosity to overcome the family, and now, many years later, that sister-in-law is married to the brother that she used to hook up with. The person who posted this didn't say if they still came to family gatherings or not. Number 9. Last year, my husband's grandma hosted Thanksgiving dinner and asked us to provide the turkey. I thought that was pretty trashy to be asked to provide a main dish at someone else's house, but we obliged. They said they would be eating at 4, and I had to go to my parents' house for a while, so we dropped off the turkey on the way out of town, and we're back at his grandma's house by 3:45, and the meal was already over. They had eaten pretty much all of the food, including the turkey that we dropped off, and were so drunk we couldn't even yell at them appropriately. 10. My mother-in-law announces halfway through dinner that she is taking the rest of the turkey that she didn't bring, nor cook, nor pay for, home with her. As she's getting ready to leave, she runs to the bathroom, and a little later she leaves, smelling like she pooped her pants. My sister-in-law winds up in the bathroom after, and is in there for forever. When she finally emerges, she asks who was in there before her. I told her the mother-in-law, and she says, "That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Don't worry, I cleaned it up." To this day, she still refuses to say what was in that bathroom, but it was as clean as could be when she came out. 11, my uncle and grandfather don't have a good relationship, but we're tolerating each other because it was Thanksgiving. My uncle was cooking lasagna and my grandfather decided to help, so he grated the cheese. He did this in a different room because the kitchen was so full of other people cooking. Later on during dinner, it comes out that my grandfather was the one who grated the cheese that my uncle used on the lasagna, and the uncle got super pissed because nobody told him he was using tainted cheese. and he flipped the table over and tossed all the food on the floor. My grandfather called my uncle outside to settle this. Unfortunately, my grandfather wound up getting thrown into the lake, and then we kicked my uncle off the property and ordered Chinese food. The uncle has yet to come back to a single family gathering. Wow, wow, wee wow. I used to think that I had a crazy family, but the internet has showed me that I don't know a damn thing about what crazy actually means. So my sympathies to you if your family acts like any of these people on this list. I'm working on an Am I the Asshole Thanksgiving edition, so if you like listening to someone else read Reddit to you, or you just like being extra judgy, consider subscribing so you won't miss my next video. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, y'all stay safe out there.